Hi Jennifer, my name is Simon from Little Big Marketing San Diego. You spoke to my brother Mark this morning about sending over this custom free video for you to take a look at a few different actionable items that you could do to improve your SEO or hold a company that is performing your SEO in check, I suppose. Make sure that they're doing the right things. So I'm going to kind of break this down for you as simple as possible. I'm going to try not to use any jargon or anything that I do. I'm going to explain to you as simple as possible. I always try and keep these understandable, of course. So with that, I'm going to jump straight in. Mark actually did mention that you've had some SEO done in the past. I can see some of the stuff that they've done. I want to show you a few things about that, but that you've had kind of mediocre results. And one of my biggest pet hates is companies spending, huge dollar amounts with Yelp, or Home Advisor, Angie's List, all of these different companies that are providing, substandard quality leads or mediocre quality leads, and overcharging for them. And I mean, I've seen this day in, day out. I believe that a lot of them are just ripping companies off. So that is why I do this. And occasionally that people that don't want to do it themselves reach back out to me and say, hey, can I do it for them? So I want to show you a few things that you can do yourself first, and then we'll go from there. So I want to start with your Google My Business. I think Mark mentioned something about using real images from on the job. That is 100% correct. You couldn't be more on point with that. All the real images that you actually take on site, particularly with your mobile phone, is it embeds metadata in the photo and tells Google when you upload those images to your Google My Business. It tells Google exactly where the photo was taken and when. That is extremely important to SEO. So you're on the money with that, and you do not need any professional photography whatsoever. What we like to do is actually coach people in what photos to take and how to take them, where to take them, and ideas of what to take. We actually build it out and create brand videos as well. Get short snapshots and build out brand videos as well. So with your GMB, the first thing I want to point out is that this image here is called your cover image. What you would ideally do here is brand that image. Actually come and put a brand overlay over the image. You can do it in something like Canva. And that basically, it makes sure that this GMB knowledge panel, this is called, is owned by your brand. It makes it really obvious. You've definitely got the name here, obviously, but you also want to see some of your brand colors and things like that. Everything's about brand management, and SEO is becoming more about brand management and less about old school SEO techniques, which is what I saw, and I'll show you, which is what I've seen is some of the old school techniques that has been used on your site in the past. You also want to update your logo here to make sure that that is an actual logo, and save those file names before you upload them as keywords. Or at the very least as your brand name, and the fact that you are a painting company in San Jose. Google reads those file names so that it knows what the image is before it actually allows them to be seen on the GMB. So that's really important. A couple other things, I'm going to go down the list here. If you can increase your review frequency, that is a massive tick in Google's algorithm. The more frequent reviews that come in, it's not about the overall amount of reviews, it is the frequency. That's why we implement things like a customer relationship manager, which I know Mark mentioned briefly to you, but it automates your review requests. So as soon as you take payment on a job, and you have a happy customer, that review request is going to go straight to that customer. It's going to go to their email and a few things like that, so they can easily do that. But in the interim, what I would be doing is, as you leave a job, hey, would you mind leaving me a review and sending the link from your GMB here. Be careful about showing your address if this isn't somewhere customers can visit. If it is, you're all good to go. I haven't actually clicked in here. I'm going to try and keep this video relatively short. But if it's not, you may want to choose to clear the address from here, or you run the risk of being suspended by Google. Make sure that these hours are up to date, which I assume they are, but if not, make sure that they are, and that all your hours across all social media accounts, Yelp, and other directories, Angelus, Home Advisor, Triple B, Expertise, they're all consistent, okay? And make sure the phone number is consistent, as consistent as possible too. As I come down and see the question and answers, I see you've got one. What I want you to do is actually add some FAQs to this. So you can come in here and go ask a question, and you can add questions as your own profile and answer them. So you can use it like an FAQ. again, this is just telling Google, hey, here are all the questions that we know that a lot of people looking for painting companies ask, and here's the information. Makes it more likely that Google's going to want to show your GMB to people that that are asking those questions, right? Not many people utilize this, so that's a nice little trick for you there. The other items I would like to see on this is add your services as products. So you can actually add products to your GMB. Again, you can tell Google and you can tell your users or prospects, leads, that you offer interior painting San Jose, cabinet refinishing, cabinet painting, exterior painting, roof painting, deck painting, wall painting, whatever it is you do, wallpapering, whatever it is that you do, add them as products to your GMB. When I went into these photos here, it looks like there's only a few. If you can start taking photos on the job, as you mentioned to Mark, and start uploading them regularly, again, it's all about that activity and frequency of that activity. It doesn't take long to do it straight from the mobile phone. And again, big check mark against Google, for Google. As I came down, I also noticed that I know that you mentioned map pins. I heard something about a company saying that they have some technology or whatever that only they have that can do something with these. That's probably not true. We also offer map pins and attach those localized photos to them as well, and reviews and things like that, to make sure that you are seen in multiple spots on Google Maps. Okay, so that is really important and a really good tick in the box if they're doing that for you. Now, I just want you to know that Google My Business supplies the highest quality leads out of any service on the internet. High buyer intent. They are hot leads because people trust Google, and they're easy to find, and people trust local business. Trust the local businesses that Google displays at the top. So, and these are built to convert those leads. So, super important that you get this ranking as soon as possible. And you can rank them quite quickly within a few weeks. In an area like yours. So if you started doing that, you'll probably see some leads coming through within a few weeks to a month. I'm going to skip across to your website now, and there's a few things I just want to mention. I'm going to compare your website against two of your top competitors for the term painting company San Jose. So if a user was to come in here, or a prospect was to come in and type in painting company San Jose, we can see what comes up. We've got the ad section at the top, Google Ads, which is something that we offer to get quick leads, as part of a long-term campaign with SEO, Google Ads, Facebook, social media advertising, whatever it is that the business owner needs to generate the revenue goal that they have. So we come down and we go through the Google businesses here. I see that you aren't one of those yet. And I don't bother looking at Yelp or Angie or Houzz or any of those companies, because they're there because they're a big website, and that's the only reason. They don't have good SEO, so if you have someone that can do SEO properly, you'll skip straight above them. So I'm looking at House Doctor Painting, and I'm looking at Wow One Day, which, they're all around the country, and again, they're there because they're a huge website. Okay, so that's who I'm going to compare you against, and I'll kind of break it down as I go. So the first thing I notice on your website, as I land on the page, is that you don't have what's called a H1, which is your primary header. It's the main header, front row center on the page, and it should say something like Painting Company San Jose. So when somebody lands on this page, they know exactly what you offer and where. They're the two main questions that people have when they land on the website, so that's the first thing you want to show them. As you scroll down, you can then use more secondary headers to add more keywords, and those keywords are anything that someone would type into Google looking for your service or product, and you can add more headlines with those keywords to, again, tell people, hey, we do color consulting, we do house and office painting, wallpaper removal, but then you want to add content as well. You want to become an authority on the topic of wallpaper removal, cabinet transformations, crown molding. Start to explain to a user why they should choose you over somebody else, and what it is that you know about this service so well that makes them want to choose you. Okay? Plus, Google likes to see at least 1,500 to 2,000 words on a homepage. So the more content you can add in that respect, the better, because you become an authority on the subject of painting, but also then of each sub niche, I guess, or service. And that obviously helps you get in that word count. You can hide them in things like accordions, like FAQ sections and things like that if you're not someone who wants a whole lot of content on their page, but it's definitely recommended. The other thing is add more images. If you actually look across all the top painting websites across the US that are ranking, the average is actually about 80 images. And again, you hit the nail on the head about using real images. Real images are from your jobs. So that's 100%, as again, you're on the money. But if I click on Save Image As and just check here, you want to make sure that this is a keyword, which it seems to be. I'm not sure how many people are actually typing in San Jose faux painter. I would look into this before I was to change anything, but let's have another one like house and office painting. So it's gallery image. You want to tell Google, hey, I have an image of house and office painting San Jose. So you want to save that image appropriately and then all the subsequent images on your website. Super important. Okay, as I scroll down, I see you've got testimonials, which is great, or a testimonial. You could have some more, but that's a good start. And you've also got all these kind of random links going out here. And I know why this is quite common, but it just kind of looks a little bit funny to me. A footer should have things like your business name, address, number, email, which you've got, your logo, definitely your social media. So this is really good. You can have testimonials and things like that. But then also you want to have more links to services. And one other big tip that I wanted to mention was adding location pages. Now, San Jose, if I just come in here and look at this Google Maps here, you can break down location pages on your website. So, and they can be hyper-local location pages. So whilst your main homepage covers San Jose, you might also have an East Foothills page or a Mountain View page or a Santa Clara page, Cupertino, sorry if I'm mispronouncing those. But what that does is it's difficult to rank a single page for more than one location. So what this does is it allows you to then have a painting company Cupertino, cup of tea, painting company Mountain View, painting company Santa Clara. So anyone that was to search those terms is going to land on your website because you're going to be the only person with those pages on your site, and those leads end up being even higher buyer intent because that you're seen to them as hyper local. You're seen as though you were in their neighborhood. Super important. So location pages, break them all out. Wherever you do service, create a location page, and you don't have to do it all at once. You can do them over time. But this is something that we do to really start to dominate a market, is to expand your service area neighborhood by neighborhood or city by city. Okay? And I think I mentioned before, you can add an FAQ. All we want to do here is when someone lands on this page, we want to answer all their questions, and that way they're more likely to call you. If you can answer all the users' questions, they're going to choose you. And that's why blogs are so effective as well. I see that you have a blog here. I mean, it looks like there's only a few, so you probably want to tidy this up a little bit and then start adding more blogs, because again, it's about frequency and then consistency of posting things like this. And it looks like the last one was 2017, so it's been quite a while, which means this blog is now all but completely useless unless it's still getting people looking at it. If it's just sitting somewhere in Google's, what's called Google's index, meaning Google knows about it, but it's so old and it hasn't been updated, it's not going to show it to anyone. Okay, so they're the main tips on your website. Now, I wanted to mention a little bit about the SEO that I saw on your website at one point. So this tool here is what we call Ahrefs or Ahrefs, and it basically looks at what's going on in the back end of your website in terms of SEO. So referring domains, what a referring domain is any website that is linking back to yours, so with a clickable link. And so if someone was to be, scrolling on that website and they click on that link and it takes them to your website, that's called a backlink, and it's coming from a referring website or a referring domain. They're referring to you and they're seen as endorsements in Google's eyes. What I see here back in, it looks like 2015, you had a massive spike, which is actually really, really not ideal. You want to have a nice, even addition of backlinks over time. But then it seemed to drop off, like someone had just stopped doing any work or even had pulled off a lot of links off your site manually, which is a little bit odd. But since then, very little has happened. So I'm not sure if someone is actively performing SEO, but if they say they are, there's something wrong with what's going on with your backlinking. Okay. I can see you getting a little bit of traffic to your website. This is just an estimate, mind you, based on this tool's algorithm. So just be aware of that. But I'm going to show you now what we look at with your top competitors. So you have 283 referring domains or endorsing websites that are endorsing you in one way or another. And some are more powerful than others, and I'll show you why. You have quite a few. This person only has 48 house doctor painting. We saw them at the top of Google. Position number 2, right? If they do it a little bit better, they'll get up past Yelp. But position number 2, and they've only got 48. See how they've gradually added these backlinks over time, these referring domains over time? That's what you want to see. So what we do as a company is come in here and look at what endorsements they're getting. We put a value towards them, and we go and get the same links, because most of them are companies like Yellow Pages. They're other directories that are essentially linking back to the website, and saying that we endorse this brand, we endorse this website. So Google then starts to trust the website. So you want to get the same links as your competitors, okay? And you can see, like, you've got more than these guys have, and these guys are ranking better. And I'm just going to look at the organic traffic here. They're getting a bit more organic traffic than you, but I mean, even 100 extra clicks per month, if you're closing 10% of those, is an extra 10 jobs per month. So and that's potentially realistic if your website's set up correctly. And again, then it does need to be some work that happens. But once you do that and you're getting some more traffic, you're at the top of Google, you're going to start getting more leads. Just to have a look at now the back end of Wow One Day, and this is just a location page. So these are typically very easy to beat. Only 21 referring domains. As I mentioned, we can have a quick look at those. And I can see that they're similar. They're doing what I'm talking about in trying to copy that house doctor painting company. But because it's only a smaller location page, they're not doing much work. So these guys are going to, I mean, you haven't got a huge amount of competition here. Okay, but they're still getting that extra bit of traffic. And what we can do is actually come in and look at the keywords that they're ranking for. And that's what then we add to your website so that we know, like Painters San Jose is searched for 400 times a month. The top spot gets around 28 to 30% of those clicks. And if your Google My Business is at the top as well, you're going to get around 70% of the overall traffic. So you could be gaining an extra 200-300 clicks per month just for ranking in position 1 of both the Google Business and organic rankings. And just to these are the organic rankings, and obviously these are the Google Business rankings. Okay, so as I said, hugely lucrative to be at the top. This one here. But then you've also got other keywords. San Jose painting, another 400 searches per month. San Jose painted, 400 searches per month. House painting San Jose. This is an extremely lucrative area for someone to be performing good quality SEO on. So please start actioning these items. If not yourself, get your SEO company to do it. If not, please reach back out to me. I'm more than happy to provide you with some more details, whatever you want to do. Now, to look at the front end of their site, I don't know if you remember, I mentioned adding this. I'm just going to go back to your home page here. Adding this header, the number 1 header that tells people what you do and where. You'll see both of these guys have exactly that. San Jose House Painters. Okay, so you can see they've got their primary header a little bit more dialed in than you. And as we go down, you'll see different keywords as headers as well, right? But not only in the headers, you'll see, and I'm just looking for a keyword in the content. So if you've got 1,500 to 2,000 words on your page, you can add keywords all over the place, and that just tells Google, hey, I want to rank for this keyword. But it also means that if a user types that keyword in and lands on your page and sees it, they know they're in the right place instantly. Okay, so I'm just looking here. It doesn't look like they've got a whole lot. So it's going to be pretty easy to outdo these guys. But by the looks of it, they've got quite a bit of content, right? So they're aiming for that sort of 1,500 words, maybe 500 to 700 words, not quite, but you can see they're putting content on there for the sake of SEO. Okay, so that's Wow One Day. Now, if we have a look at these guys, these are really helpful too, to have a couple of I guess, trust signals or call to actions, for when people land on the page. And as I go through, see Bay Area residential commercial painters. So you've got keywords again, as I mentioned, residential painting. I would have San Jose here, but that's just me. And I guess my knowledge of SEO. It's always great to have videos, and this is why we create brand videos to actually place on your homepage, because YouTube is a very powerful tool. Social media is a very powerful tool to build your brand online. Now the reason is www in the header in the URL of most companies, not all anymore, but it used to be very, very common, www.domain.com. www stands for World Wide Web. So what we do is create your brand web. And what that does is make it very easy to find for Google, but also users. Makes it very easy for Google to know every piece of your brand online, and it builds a big online brand presence, which just automatically becomes more trusted. It's kind of like, we know that if there's a company, a franchise that has a location, a brick and mortar location in all different spots around the country, they become more and more trusted because you see them all of the time. It's the same thing with Google. You create more branded profiles online, and Google sees them all the time. You become more trusted. It works the same way. Okay. So that's kind of, for people that don't want to come along and do this, that's what we do. We build out their brand online, and we then link them all together, and we start social media posting. We start posting on the GMB frequently with those images provided by you on the job. We build out a folder that you can easily upload them to from your mobile phone. What else did I want to mention here? The other thing that is a really, really positive thing that you can do, and I forgot to mention this on your Google Business, was reply to these reviews. Google actually has a lot of value in replying to reviews. So I see you've got a couple here. That's something that we offer as part of our service, to just make sure that every single review gets replied to, especially bad reviews. It's more important to reply to bad ones as you have, because people go looking for bad reviews to see, and then they love to look at what the owner says about it. That is extremely common. So just so you're aware of that, seems like you already are, or whoever's done this for you may already know that, or you're just a smart business person. And it's not just about SEO, right? Now, so what we like to do is you mentioned that you're using Yelp, you're doing a little bit of SEO, and that's good. You're starting to put eggs in different baskets. What we like to do as part of our campaigns is offer things like Google ads, social media ads if needed, a customer relationship manager to make sure that you don't miss calls. Now, I actually know that you said to Mark that you don't miss too many calls, if any, but as you scale up and you start getting sort of 100 calls a month, 200 calls a month, 300 calls a month, it becomes too much for one person. If you then employ a salesperson or a sales team, they will miss calls as they're on the call, on other calls, or they're estimating jobs, whatever it is they're doing. So you automate missed call texts. That way you don't lose that lead. And it's not just that one lead. My data shows that that with painting companies around the US, each lead is worth up to 2 times, sometimes 3 times the value, meaning they refer other people or they have secondary jobs down the track. So their lifetime value is 2 to 3 times the first job. So if you miss a call, you're potentially missing out on 3 solid jobs, because the next thing that person does after missing a call is go straight to the next person on Google or straight to the next person on Yelp, wherever they found you. Okay. Now, the purpose of putting eggs in different baskets is because Google ads, things like that, can offer really short-term leads, and that's going to start paying for your SEO, but also start paying for bills and start increasing your revenue in general. But then what happens is, as that kind of takes off and you're getting those leads, you're getting that revenue, after 3 to 6 months to a year, SEO takes time, but it does grow, and then it becomes exponential. So you're getting short-term growth, but then you're getting the long-term growth as well, which is the real big ticket item. As SEO takes over, and you start to be found in all different places on the web. Okay, so not only does a CRM, just do simple things like missed text calls, it also automates follow-up. It increases the touch points, so it increases close rates astronomically. You can send out newsletters, but one really, really, really good thing that I like to do at the beginning of campaigns for my clients is take their lists that they already have of previous customers. And I saw that you have been around for 1989. I imagine that you have quite a big list of emails and phone numbers that of previous customers. What you can do is send out a text and email to those people with an offer. And I've seen solar companies book $45,000 worth of jobs in one day from a list of only 164 contacts. So that is a really nice way to start off a campaign, then leading into the Google ads, then leading into the SEO. So there's lots of different things that you can do. If you want to chat more, please just reach out to me. Please leave me a line of feedback, whether this was helpful and that it was understandable. If not, more than happy to go over anything with you. That's why I like to do this, is to make sure that business owners are getting their money's worth from the SEO company that they choose to work with. Doesn't have to be me. I want to make sure you're getting the value from that. So that's a few different things that you can implement straight away on your online profiles. I really hope again that helps, and I hope to hear from you. And with that, have a great day, and I will talk to you another time. Thanks a lot.